There you are, a few thousand feet up in the air. You're surrounded by walls. Although it doesn't quite feel like it. Right now, you're on a plane. And if you look down, you can see the ocean. Above you, there's the sky. And to your sides, the clouds. That's right, you can see through walls. Well, you're not a superhero, but you can see through these walls. That's because they're transparent. Still, when you look around, you can sort of make out what the limits of the walls are. This means that you'll be constantly reminded you're flying on an aircraft. You're not floating or falling a few thousand feet down. The scenery is all yours to take in. You can even see a bit of the Earth's curvature from up here. Our planes are still not transparent to this day. They're made from good old aluminum. Such walls are trusted and provide us with sturdy security. The experience of flying on a transparent plane would have us feeling like we're the ones flying, like eagles soaring through the sky without the help of any aircraft. Consider a regular plane. Aluminum walls, big wings, just an overall massive aircraft. Now, see these windows? Let's widen them a bit. Okay, now they're wide, just like the windows we find on trains. And when you look out of them, you can see a lot more. But let's remove the windows altogether for now. The aircraft is now a huge dark box. On the side of this airplane, let's insert one big window that would go from the bottom up and from the tail of the aircraft right to the cockpit. The same goes to the other side. This by itself would already create a huge panoramic scenery. In fact, you might need a pair of sunglasses to not be blinded by the sun. Imagine you're going skydiving. Jumping out of a plane, although terrifying, provides you with an unmatched scenery since you're so high up. You put your parachute backpack on, safety glasses so your eyes are safe, correct skydiving attire, and you're ready to go. The scenery you would see from a transparent aircraft would be similar to the one when you jump out of a plane, but with none of the terrifying risks or feelings. Plus, when you skydive, you'll always be on your way down, while on a transparent plane, you're able to see the show, sitting in a comfortable seat and flying at a steady altitude. Okay, an engine might be tough to make transparent, and the wings too. There's a very delicate system in those, and we can't mess with it. But let's say that the whole body of the aircraft, where the passengers are, is transparent. Looking around, you can't see any of the walls. You're at the airport, ready to board. The plane you're about to board is transparent. You enter the bus, a regular kind, and it takes you to where the plane is. The aircraft is breathtaking all by itself. The body is transparent, but the wings are white, and so is the tail and cockpit. Before entering, you notice that you can make out the entire shape of the plane, not just the visible colored parts. That's because even though the plane is a clear object, it bends the light as it passes through it. Take this glass of water as an example. It's on a table, and you can clearly see it. However, you're actually only seeing the background of where the glass filled with water is. That's because of light refraction. This means your brain is able to deduce the presence and the shape of the glass because of the distortion, just like it does to the plane. When you enter, even the seats are transparent, so as not to break the trip's immersion. Still, to help people see them better, they're outlined with black paint. In fact, all the necessary and important objects are. If you're afraid of heights, this might not be a fun trip. The plane's about to take off, and the struggle to get a window seat or to try and peek through your sitting neighbor's window is over. The whole plane is your window. The takeoff begins. You can feel and see the plane moving. You look down, and it feels like the highway strip is moving faster and faster. But it has nothing to do with the strip. It's the plane that's moving. Suddenly, you're off the ground. Your heart starts beating a bit faster. You're excited. You're thousands of feet up in the air, and you can see absolutely everything. Birds that are flying at the same altitude as planes might have difficulty seeing the plane. And not only birds, but other pilots too. If most of the plane's body is transparent, who's to say pilots will be able to see it so far up in the air? They'll have to rely on communication and their radars. more work for the people down there at the air traffic control stations. What if instead of fully transparent walls, or even translucent, there are displays replacing aluminum walls and windows? Firstly, this means the aircraft would weigh less than regular ones, which means less fuel to move. It might pose a concern as to whether they can handle the pressure, so better and improved technology would probably need to be developed. It might become a bit more aerodynamic too, since any interruption in the surface creates drag. With displays instead of windows, you could be flying above anywhere, yet you'd be able to choose the place where you want to be in. Take this. You're flying across the ocean at noon on your private jet. It's a very beautiful sight, but you've seen it a dozen times. It's not your first rodeo with a transparent plane. You feel like you want to be in Paris right now, and since the jet is yours, you call the shots. You press a switch, choose a location, and you're right in the center of Paris, overlooking the Eiffel Tower. Okay, but now you want to watch your favorite TV show. You can just grab your remote and press play. Now your windows are just like a big LCD screen, playing whatever show you like. Since they're displays, your jet might even have software that allows you to do anything you'd normally do on a computer. You catch your flight at 1 p.m., but you have an important meeting at 2 p.m. On this plane, that's not a problem. You can just open up a conference app on your wall display, set up a professional background, and you're good to go. And with a good pair of earbuds, the noise the plane makes while flying will be barely noticeable. It's like you're at an office that's a few thousand feet up in the air and moving at incredible speeds. And who knows, maybe in the distant future, these transparent jets and planes won't only become real, but will also be able to choose when they become visible or not with the press of a button. What about transparent cars? Those can already be made. There's a company that made an acrylic car. They made it to show off some security features inside the car, and it worked out perfectly. The outside of the vehicle was fully transparent, and you were able to see the engine, security features, airbags, the seats, and the rest of the car's components. If you rent a glass house made specifically in one of those places to immerse people in nature, you can experience incredible scenery just as beautiful as you would on a transparent plane. In some of these places, the unique views of the night sky are priceless. They also blend in the environment, keeping the scenery around it almost untouched. You know those crystal clear lakes like Moraine Lake in Canada? Or Blue Lake in New Zealand, which is the clearest lake in the whole world, by the way, making for absolutely breathtaking views. A kayak ride in them sounds about right. But what about a transparent kayak? They are very much real, even today. With them, you're able to see everything underneath you. Sitting on such a kayak, looking down, you're able to realize just how crystal clear this water actually is. You can make out every tiny detail underwater. You can see the fish clearly. Every pebble, every rock, even the sand is crystal clear.